Marsha, and I'm delighted to be here with you because it seems that the European Union wasn't represented in any of the 6 previous fora, so I'm delighted to be the first EU representative to speak to you today, and I'm thrilled about this dialogue, and I'm thrilled about the messages already passed by the ambassadors and my fellow colleagues from the US administration. I would like to start with the premise that the Caspian region's vast natural resources have really started to redefine the strategic energy relations between the European Union member states, and the rest of the world. The opportunity for that to happen became evident, I think, 2 decades ago with the ideas triggered by energy crises in the European Union, 2003, 2009. Back then, 2 decades ago, the idea of the Southern Gas Corridor became salient. And indeed, that was the first large-scale project to diversify energy resources to the southeast partners of this region in the European Union. This perspective and this cooperation and opportunity is today even more relevant than ever. Of course, Russia's unprovoked aggression against Ukraine has accelerated these trends, has allowed us to redefine our connections and our partnerships with the rest of the world, and really triggered a lot of thinking about what the future holds for European partnerships and European resilience. Of course, the climate crisis is today more evident than ever as well, and that holds a promise as well for the European Union, but also obviously for Central Asia and the rest of the globe to work together to accelerate the transition towards climate neutrality. I would like to say that, of course, in a multipolar world, the cooperation along the Trans-Caspian corridor is not only important from the energy security perspective, but what also has been said by the previous speakers, for the prosperity, for peace, for democracy, for the region and beyond. Because the Trans-Caspian has the potential to bring Asia, Europe, and the Middle East together. And in particular, its people, for more people-to-people exchanges, something that is extremely important for the vibrancy of our democracies. The region is an indispensable partner for the European Union. Its relevance is indeed multifaceted, as already said by Michael. Energy, but also digitalization, transportation, trade, and political ties. I think all these areas are key for our relations. Today, of course, and I focus more specifically on climate and energy, I would like to say that the energy ties, which are most pronounced between Europe and this region, could serve as a blueprint for other areas as well. So on energy, this region has played a critical role geopolitically for the European Union already. And indeed, the previous speakers have stressed the importance of TANAP and TAP, the 2 large-scale infrastructure projects that ran from Azerbaijan to Europe across multiple states, Turkey in particular, but also Albania and landing in Italy. Today, of course, Europe looks at this region and also at our partnership, as I already said, from a different perspective. We've realized through Russian aggression in Ukraine that Europe is much too much dependent on cheap energy supplies, fossil fuel supplies from Russia. And indeed, that has triggered rethinking in terms of where our energy ties should lie in the future. That strategy is supported by the highest levels of the European Union, by the leaders, and it's called Repower EU. Its goal is definitely to cut our dependence on Russian fossil fuels by, at the latest, 2027. But also, in doing so, we would like to accelerate the transition. We would like to turn this challenge into an opportunity. and, of course, build resilience, looking forward to our challenges to transition away from fossil fuels with view to our climate neutrality goals. So how do we want to do it? Well, through energy savings. That's our first pillar of work, very important also for the region, which I will speak a little bit more about. Secondly, of course, through renewing the energies that we consume in Europe, so more development of renewable energies. And thirdly, diversification, new partnerships in particular. And on all these fronts, already the region is playing a key role. So it has been mentioned that we have a joint objective of doubling the capacity of the Southern Gas Corridor to up to 20 BCM by 2027. And very recent dialogues, just 3 weeks ago, that European Commissioner for Energy Simpson held in Brussels with her Azerbaijani colleague, Minister Shahbazov. That showed also that we are actually looking to even increasing more beyond those 20 BCM in the 2029 perspective. Then I would like to mention the MOUs, the strategic partnership also with Kazakhstan on the development of critical raw materials. I think Laura Lockman has mentioned the critical raw materials and its importance in developing our joint efforts on the road towards climate neutrality. And the acceleration of energy transition overall. This is the third pillar that I mentioned before, and here our partnerships in the region are geared towards developments of renewable energies, development of energy efficiency, technologies and deployment of those technologies, but also integration of renewable energies in the region. Methane emission reductions, very critical, because it's a really low-hanging fruit. And then last but not least, also hydrogen. European Union has a very strategic objective on hydrogen. We want to produce 10 million tons of hydrogen, green hydrogen in the European Union, but this is also as much as we want to import from the rest of the world. And of course, the Central Asia is the closest geographical area to the European Union, in addition, obviously, to Northern Mediterranean region. And so these regions are critical for us to fulfill that objective of 10 million tons of green hydrogen. The green energy corridor has been mentioned. The electric link between Azerbaijan, Romania, and Hungary. Of course, Bulgaria is also critically involved in thinking and joining potentially this project. And from the European Union, Commission, this project will be supported politically, and already those statements have been made. So let me finish my introductory remarks with an outlook. So we see also an important potential for LNG trade, in particular with Turkey, and in supporting the Southeast Europe. We see an important development around the idea of a solidarity ring. MOU was just signed in Sofia with a number of countries in the region. And third, but not last, I would like to mention the potential of the region to contribute to the integration of Western Balkans. This is critical because the Western Balkans are also most of the countries' accession candidates to the European Union. So that is a critical role and that this region can play. So development of markets in Southeastern Europe is really an important imperative. Last but not least, of course, towards Moldova and Ukraine that face critical challenges in terms of LNG supplies, this region can be important going forward as well. And with that, my introductory remarks, I pass over back